Happy Halloween, everybody. I wish you all a great Halloween and happy trick or treating with kids, those who are celebrating. All right, so starting with Bitcoin, look at this indicator 1 minute chart. We had green lines are the buy zones, red lines are the sell zones. We easily made, when we touched green lines, easy profits of 1.42%. And again came back very close to the buy zone, again green line, again easy profits from here till the top line red line where we sold 1.67 profit. So you can see easily you can get 1 to 1.5% profits every day. Ethereum also same thing. We touched the buy zone here. You can see this morning around 4 a.m. and then came to near sell zone. Then again it gave us an opportunity touch around 11 a.m. this morning Eastern, and then it went all the way from here towards this end of day around 4 p.m. to 1.75% profits. You can see US 500, which is Russell, which is S&P 500. Same thing here. I shared with this private member group these levels this morning, and you can see we were in the sell zone. I told them to short, and then at minimum we can go from sell zone to neutral zone where we take profits. Easy 0.59.6% profits taken. Dow Jones are very similar. You can see we were here this morning when I gave an update in pre-market, and we easily dumped from there to 0.63%, and Russell 2000 as well. You can see easy profits here as well. So we touched near the sell zone, and then you can easily see we can came around. You can see this method can be applied to all indices and Bitcoin and crypto and gold. So you can see even on gold, we came to the buy zone here. Now we are bouncing and we were in the sell zone. You can see that's 10 o'clock this morning. You could have shorted gold here, and from there to the bottom, 1.26% easy profits. If you would like to know more about this indicator, subscribe to my channel. There's a link. There's also a very minimal fee, $6 for a month, and you can subscribe for the whole year. And I provide these levels pre-market in the morning, and you can trade based on these levels, and you can, for in one trade, you can make for the entire subscription fee of the year. Okay, so subscribe. All right. So now we got that out of our way. So let's quickly review the high level longer term chart, and let's go to daily chart right now. So let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, this is daily chart of Bitcoin, and let's go and check futures, which is BTC futures. Let me find where it is. Here you go. This is BTC futures. You can see we are holding nicely on this trend line, white trend line. Okay, and then let me hide this indicator for a bit. And you can see right now there is a gap here. All these green lines are the gaps to fill. These gaps will be filled. I just don't know when. There's a gap here around 20,160. Another gap is around 26,305. Third gap is around 29,760. And fourth gap is around 34,165. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see what's happening here. We're just trying to flag, but there's this gap. So this gap will definitely be filled, and I think it's going to fill sooner than later. So this gap is around 2% here. So I'm looking for at minimum this gap to fill, and let's bring back these moving averages. So you can see now we are still away from this green, which is the 10 moving average. We can consolidate here. Looks like we want to make a flag. So looks like a consolidation pattern. So it's quite possible we can make a flag here and then break out. Let me show you the other chart, which is the live futures, where I have this here. And you can see the next resistance is around 42K. So short term, I'm expecting a flag, and a flag can take you to the breakout. Let me actually put it here. So you can see here, this next resistance around 42K. Looks like we want to make a flag here. Flag and breakout. The other option is, you can see this whole area here. This is a massive support area. This whole area is massive support around 32K. The next option for Bitcoin, in case we get a dump, some little bit of weakness, you can come back here, find support. If we come back here, we're going to probably go fill this gap around 30K, and then we go higher. All right, so these are two options, but regardless of which option we go, I think it looks like seasonality wise, December, November is very, very bullish, and probably we're going to go and hit here at some point around 41, 42K. All right. So let me go back to auto chart, and now let's go to Ethereum very, very quick. Ethereum, you can see also very good news. Good news for the bulls. It's consolidating above this 200 EMA, 200 SMA, sorry, tight blue line, just making a flag and just consolidating, just digesting this big move and getting ready. So it's also the next resistance is going to be around $22,000. Okay. So if Ethereum is gonna follow Bitcoin, so let's wait for this flag to break out, and then the next resistance is here. So the way you measure the target is from the bottom to the flag to the top. So if I move this, the breakout can easily take you to around $2,000. All right. So you can see here how I got that. All right. So now let's go to traditional market. We are done with crypto. Here is S&P 500, and you can see we have divergence. You can see price is new low with some divergence on RSI, and you can see we're getting very close to this resistance. I told you yesterday we are expecting a bounce. So we did get a bounce. Now we're getting very close to resistance. If I zoom in here, you can see we are now near this 10 moving average. So this is finding some resistance here. Next resistance is going to be around this 20 moving average. This is the white line, and these two are the next major resistance. Now there are two possible paths. It's possible you can see this whole thing was acting as a support. It acted as a support here around 4220, let's say around 4200 against support here, and now we're just back testing. Are we going to back test and then go break down and then make a new low with some divergence? That's first option. Second option is we're going to make higher high and then we go higher. All right, so what I'm going to do is my preferred scenario, I'm going to make it green. This is what I'm expecting. I'm thinking it's going to make a higher high and then higher low and then going to go higher, and I don't expect another dip, but we got to be mindful. But at the end, we are expecting a massive rally November and December to at least close some of these gaps. And these gaps, if I go to SPY, which is the cash index, so you can see here all these gaps are up to the upside. Gap is around 423 yellow line. So top gaps are I marked with yellow lines, bottom gaps I marked with green lines, and there is also a gap here which is not closed. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see this gap which was created on Monday, still not closed. So if for some reason FOMC something comes up, we could come back, fill this gap, and then go higher. Just keep that in mind. All right. So this is my preferred scenario, which is in green, and you can see from here to the top of the gap, you just got to be patient. And from here to the top of the gap, we are looking at almost 9% upside here. Triple Qs, Nasdaq, again, in a good news for the bulls, we are holding above this 200 EMA, this light blue line, and we are also against this downward sloping resistance. And you can see right now we are facing resistance on this 10 moving average. So if we close above that, next resistance is around this 20 moving average, and then third resistance is around 50 EMA and 15 SMA, these yellow and red lines. All right. So let's go to triple Qs, which is the cash index. So I'm expecting same thing. There's also a gap here. If I go to 1 hour chart, that gap is still not filled. You can see this Monday's gap. So just be mindful of that. If we get down for some reason, FOMC maybe tomorrow, then the gap fill will be perfect entry. And you can see all these above gaps are in the yellow line. And from here, all the top gaps is around almost 10% away. So keep that in mind. All right. So let's go look at Dow Jones. Dow Jones also divergence, looking like it's trying to make a higher high. So you can see I'm expecting a little bit something like this on Dow Jones. That's my preferred scenario. So we'll see how that goes. Russell 2000 also trying to do the same thing. Divergences across the board. So looking for this to form a higher low and then start going higher. Gold. Little bit of weakness, and you can see I'm expecting a little bit more weakness and backtest of this 1950 zone and then bounce. Silver also not able to go above this resistance trend line. If I hide this line, it's visible very better here. You can see this white line. You can see it's backtesting. It could be a flag as well. You can see not a flag, sorry, inverse head and shoulder. You can see left shoulder, head and right shoulder, and the measured move could be from here to here. And if we break out, silver will have explosive breakout and we could go to previous highs. All right, so just keep that in mind. So silver is looking like it's just trying to make this right shoulder right now. Natural gas, massive pump. This gap here, which was created a couple of days ago, you can see here this gap. I was telling everybody this gap is here, massive pump, almost I think 7-8% up today. I don't know what the news was on natural gas. Closed the month, jumped, I don't know what, something with colder forecast. So gas is now pumping higher. So the next target is around here, around 4.34%. So one day it just took out all the downwards pressure it had. Now its price is above all moving averages again. Looking very, very bullish natural gas. Okay, so from here still our above price target is around 18% away. Crude oil, you can see exactly what I was thinking. Now breaking down, we made a new low. So exactly massively, you can see exactly what I was telling happened. And now next target is around $74. Dollar trying to make a new high. I really hope it consolidates and then breaks. We'll see how it goes. And I already covered Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's quickly look at stocks. Apple. Did this gap is filled? Let's quickly see. This gap is filled. You can see this gap. For some reason, they filled this gap. So delete this from Monday. And then that's good news. Apple event or Apple earnings are coming 2 days from now. So maybe we'll make a high low and then go higher. So this is right now, it was support. Now it's resistance. So we really need to close above this 200 EMA, dark blue line, light blue line, 200 EMA, 200 SMA, 200 EMA, 10 moving average, 20 moving average. We really want to see this gap fill happen very soon, around 173. Tesla 1.76%, massive dump. No divergence yet, so I could see another low coming before we go higher. We'll see how it goes, but remember this gap is going to be filled. If you buy Tesla, if you can hold till New Year, there's a potential of 20% upside from here. Netflix, looking everything good. Price above all moving averages. My next target is around 475. Microsoft is also looking good, consolidating above all moving averages. Next target 349. Google also not that good, but there's a gap up. So it's possible short term we can come down, fill this gap, and then move higher. I'm expecting that through the end of this year. And Microsoft right against all this resistance. You can see it's not going to be easy, but eventually I think Microsoft should look to break out. And what is this? Amazon. You can see Amazon is above all the moving averages again, and then this 50 daily SMA line, red line, its price is closing above that. And if it can consolidate here, it can make a higher low and then go higher. So Amazon is also looking good. Snowflakes, you can see if I go to 1 hour chart, this gap is still not fully filled. You can see here, if I zoom in, this gap is not filled. Still, this gap is here. So let's see if Snowflakes can come back, fill this gap fully before it can go higher. That's what I'm expecting. NVDA, this gap is filled fully now. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see if I can delete this. And then you can see NVIDIA, it can now try to rally from here. These are the two target zones, these yellow lines. AMD earnings flat, interesting. So earnings looks like earnings was good. Nothing happened, no pump, no dump. But this gap is filled, so we can delete this. There are multiple gaps to the upside. Toronto Stock Exchange also flat with divergence, looking for another rip from here to at least fill some of these gaps towards the end of this year. Hang Seng Index also breaking out towards above this dotted trend line. You can see broke out, backtest, broke out, now again backtesting it. And bonds, you can see bond is also consolidating, making a higher low on RSI, consolidating. Price is going lower and facing this big resistance line. We'll see how bonds act here. Copper also trying to, you can see it's in the buy zone here. Copper is in the buy zone, massive buy zone here, and just consolidating here. Let's see if it can break out from here. It's looking nice to buy here. Palladium also struggling to close above 1140. Let's see if it can consolidate here and then break out. Wheat. Again in the buy zone, a little bit below buy zone, but again it's just testing patience for everybody. So let's see, just keep holding tight. We're looking for a breakout above this downward sloping 50 SMA line. Corn again in the buy box here, so looking like it's in the buy box, consolidating, looking for a massive pump from here. Soybeans also in the buy zone. All right, so let's look at gold miners. Newmont Mine looks like it wants to fill this gap, so that's our target. Gold miners, this gap is filled, so we can delete this. And now there's also a possibility if we're going to go lower, we could even go lower, fill this gap before we go higher. So just keep that in mind. That will be perfect buying opportunity if we go there. 27 is the buying target. XLK going higher. XLK is tech sector. XLE looking for gap fill at 82. XLV struggling, but looking for this gap fill around 125. Looking for that to fill and then go higher. XLU utility sector looking for this gap to fill here before we can go higher. XLI industrial, this gap is still not filled. Looking for that to fill and then go higher. XLRE real estate sector. facing this downwards resistance. So maybe any pump will be faced by resistance and then we break out. XLF financials also, there are multiple gaps. I'm not sure if they're going to fill these gaps, but if we do, that will be great buying opportunity around 31 bucks. And KRE, again, looking for this gap to fill, but remember, there's only one gap down and many gaps up. So if you can take risk and hold it, this is the time you want to buy. Shopify looks like it wants to fill this gap, so I will be looking to buy on this gap fill. Earnings is tomorrow or on Thursday. So Thursday morning. So we'll see if we open on this gap 45, that will be good target to buy. Alright guys, that's it for today, and let's wrap up with VIX. Massive 8% dump, which is good news, and we're looking for consolidation and then break to new lows, or at least go below 15. That will be very bullish for the entire stock market, and that's what I'm looking for. Alright, again guys, that's it for today, and if you guys like the info, please hit the like button, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.